Hello ladies and gents, this is Adam from Phase 1 Readiness. You probably can't see me on the camera, but that's okay. I want to do a product review today. For a while now, I've been using a solar light. They're kind of like driveway lights or walkway lights, and I really like them. I've used them for over a year now. I have quite a few out deployed, but I wanted to tell you about this particular brand. And this particular brand, I believe it's pronounced Adiaface. And if you look at it, it's typical LED lights, and you have a sensor here. It's motion sensor activated, passive infrared, and you have a solar panel on top. This right here is an on-off button, so you can turn it on and off at your leisure. But I really like these lights because they last a long time with a very small charge. If these charge up through solar for one full day, you get 12 hours of continuous light. And the way I use them, they're meant to be for if you want to light up your driveway or your walkway into the house at night, etc. I use a few of them above my doorways where the steps are to light up the way to the door at night. And I use a few of them for some other little things around the house. I want to show you one other though. If I didn't say it, these are 400 lumen. This one right here is quite a bit longer. It's by a different company, and I get these off Amazon, so the company really doesn't matter. The reason I like this Adiaface is, like I said, there's an on-off button on it, whereas these, there is a pinhole right here above the sensor that you have to push in with a small needle to turn it off and on. This one right here is 2000 lumen. I use this around my buildings, specifically on my walkway up to the house, and in a few other areas, and it really lights the place up. I wish I could do night video to show you how well it does. If you're wondering what these little S-hooks are for, I actually hang these off the gutter edge on my house. That way I can move them around if I need to instead of running screws into something. But, product review. I've had these for different brands, and like I said, I like this one for over a year. And the way I primarily use them, honestly, is when I let my dogs out. I live in an area where it's scary dark. And what I mean by scary dark is when it's dark and all the lights are out, you can put your hand in front of your face and you can't see it. So when I let the dogs out at night, I like to know the general area that they're in. I also use them as, you might say, perimeter security or perimeter awareness. In other words, if I have something coming onto my property, be it coyotes or something else, my dogs will usually alert me. And I have them set out along the perimeter of my property at different distances, so if an animal or two-legged or four-legged comes up, I will know the general area that they were in, because they will set this motion light off. It will go off, and it will either scare the animal or hopefully scare the human being. If not, it will light them up nicely for me and my dogs at night. What can I tell you about these? They're great. Look into them yourself. I get them off Amazon. They have a million different brands. Be sure to pay attention to how many LEDs they have in them. They might not tell you how many lumens it is, but they usually tell you how many LEDs. I don't recall how many this one has. I want to say it has 48 LEDs in it, which gives it 400 lumens. Also, the other thing I might not have mentioned is they do stay on for 30 seconds. So when they are activated through their motion sensor, passive infrared sensor, they do stay on for 30 seconds, which is a nice thing. If you're continually in that area, they will continue to stay on as long as they're picking something up. I wanted to put this little graphic up here that I made, a little drawing. I'm not an artist, so hey, that's the way it is. But I'm going to come over here, make sure we can see everything properly. I'll move the camera a little bit, help you guys out. But what I have here is generally a layout of maybe a property with different geographical features. If this is a building, and this is a driveway, and this is a walking path to another building, this over here, if it's a low area like a creek area that flows out to the road, and this over here is a hill blocking your view on the other side into a tree line. etc. What I've done with my situation is on my tree line, I have these spaced out and they're facing away from me, so that if something comes out of the woods or whatever, it will set one off and it'll face at them and highlight them and kill their night vision a little bit, and I don't have to worry about it shining in my face. On a hill, you could deploy these if you're on the other side of the hill or you have an LPOP at the top of the hill. You could deploy these at the base of the hill facing outward and shining outward, so that if something was approaching, it would light it up and you would know. Example being, if I'm over here on the hill and it's totally pitch black and I see a light go off over here, hey, I know there's something over there. Or if it's two things at the same time, I see a light go off here and one over here, I know I need to pay attention to both those areas and everything in between. Another example being, out by my road, which is a rural road, there is a tree line. And inside the tree line, I have put these lights, and I'm not worried about OPSEC. I have put these lights so that when a car goes by either way, they will light up. One will light up, and the next one, the next one, the next one. It's just a security measure, a deterrence measure, you might say. Just to let people know, hey, there are motion sensors here. There is lighting. And same thing. If something comes in from off the road because my dogs have alerted me and I'm looking outside, at least I know the general direction that they come into. Other example, low-lying area, a gully, the hill goes down into a small valley, a creek, whatever. You can put them on the high side on each side of this, facing towards the water, the valley. Same reason, on both sides, and alert you. So that's what I primarily use them for. That's what I wanted to talk about. This product is a great product. It doesn't have to be this brand. I have other brands, and I have found out that they all operate pretty much the same. The only feature that I like about this particular brand, like I said, it is a push button to turn it off and on instead of using a little pin. And like I said, the quality of them is really good as far as weather. And I have them in tree lines where it is extremely shaded during the summer, and I've had no problem with them at all being charged up enough to activate and work properly. I've only had one instance where a few of them, and we had extreme cloud cover for 5 days in a row, and they were in the tree line in the spring, that were a little weak when they did come on, but they did come on. I've never had one not come on. Another way that I've seen people use these is my daughter down in Florida. They have issues with car break-ins. She puts one on her dash. Literally, just puts one on her dash, and it charges up. It's by her steering wheel and the passenger door. And if anybody comes nosing around, like sticking their face in front of the windshield or the passenger or driver's side door to see about breaking in, this thing lights up and basically blinds them and kind of lets them know that, hey, stay away. All right, guys. This is Adam from Phase 1 Readiness. I just wanted to say thank you for watching my videos and hope this product might help some of you. I also wanted to say is in the future, look for me on Patreon. I'm not up yet, but I will be starting a Patreon site. If you don't know what Patreon is, by all means, please go and Google it. It is a subscription site, and I plan on charging $1 a month. That's the minimum I can do. But I will be doing videos in greater detail on topics that people want to hear about. Basically, almost instruction videos to that level of detail. I talk about all kinds of things, so look me up on Patreon in the future. I'll announce it here on YouTube. All right, guys, you have a great day, and gals, and you keep on prepping and baby steps, just baby steps. As long as you're making baby steps in the forward direction, you'll be fine. All right, thanks again. Bye.